Hi everybody, welcome to your child's third grade classroom for this year. I'm Kelly Welsh and I will be your child's teacher. I'm really excited to get to know you guys and to start forming relationships so that we can work together and be an effective team for creating a good education for your child this year. A little bit about me. I recently graduated from Northeastern University in Chicago, and before that I was going to CLC. So I am a first-year teacher. However, I have lots of years of experience working with kids. It's what I've been doing since high school, and I love it. I'm very passionate about education for myself, and I'm really excited as well to be able to hopefully instill a love of learning in your students that will last for the rest of their lives. Something else that I really love is fitness. You might see me at the gym across the street. If you ever go there in the afternoons, I'll be there after school. And I really love music as well, and I've played the piano for many years. Something that I believe is really important, especially in this classroom, is building relationships between the families as well as the students. Of course, I'm super excited to get to know your kids, and I'm sure we will get to know each other as we spend lots of time with each other throughout this year. However, I'd also like to be able to be forming a relationship with you guys as the parents, as the caregivers, so that we can work together to create the best possible experience for your children. So one way that I'd like to start with that tonight is you'll see that there's a handout at each of your places, and right there just has some spaces where you can let me know some important things about your children. So if you could just put down what their learning style is, if you know that, like if they like to work with their hands or if they're more visual, more auditory, and then if you could put down any special interest that your child has, if they really love unicorns or dinosaurs, something like that, so that we also know what will get them interested, what will get them motivated. And if you can also put something that your child really loves and really motivates them, and something that maybe sets them off or makes them have a bit of a rough day, so that I can also know what things to aim for and what things to avoid. That would be fantastic. Another policy we'll also have throughout the school year is that any day where your child is maybe having a bit of a rough morning or had a rough night or rough weekend, whatever it might be, you can just send me a text letting me know that they need a little extra support that day. You don't have to give any details, anything like that, if you don't feel comfortable or if you don't think that it's necessary. And then I'll just know for that day to be a little bit more cautious with your kids, or a little bit more understanding, give them a little bit more time to respond to instructions, to corrections, to things like that, because I don't want your kids to feel ever like they're having a bad day and school is going to make that worse. I want it to be something that can actually help them get back on track and make it better. So if you guys could just let me know that would be fantastic, and that will help me to work with you guys to create the best experience for your child possible. I also want you guys to know a little bit more about how we will be running the classroom this year, what kind of things your child will be learning, so that you can feel very confident sending them here, and so that you can also feel involved in the process and kind of know what our starting point is for any questions that you might have throughout the year. In this classroom, we will be basing our model of learning on something called progressivism, and that is just a very student-based, student-centered kind of learning. So instead of me as the teacher being in front of the classroom and just teaching and having the students kind of memorize that, we will be trying to focus a lot of the classes also on the students' specific interests. Obviously, there will be some memorization of facts, things like that. This is third grade, so your children, especially in classes like math, they'll be memorizing multiplication tables, things like that. And that's just a little bit unavoidable. But especially in the classes like science, we'll be seeing what are your kids interested in, what would they like to learn. They will come up with different kinds of experiments. They'll be asking questions and seeing, okay, if I have these questions, how can I put it into practice? And they'll be kind of answering that on their own to also inspire a sense of autonomy in their learning, and to inspire creativity and them actually wanting to go out and learn things for themselves, rather than just feeling like learning is a chore. So in this classroom, our learning will be very student-centered, and a lot of it will be encouraging the students to ask questions, and to ask questions about the questions their peers are asking and things like that, so that they can have that value of learning in them for their entire lives. Another thing that will be very important for us this year is creating a healthy learning community. So that means that a lot of times the kids will be working in a big group, they'll be working in smaller groups, they'll be being split up, working around in different stations, because we want to encourage all the kids to get to know each other, all the kids to be able to work through their differences and work together in different projects or solving problems, things like that. So that they can also get the skill of teamwork that they'll be using for the rest of their lives. That's very important to me, and I think that it will become very important to the students as well. Another thing that's very important in this classroom is fostering a growth mindset, and that's something that you parents can help with a lot at home as well. We just want to encourage each of the kids that they can learn new things and they can expand. Maybe each child will be learning at different levels, but that no one is born with just a set intelligence and they'll never be able to grow past that. Just encouraging the kids that if they push themselves, they can grow, they can understand these subjects that maybe they didn't understand before. And so that will be something that's very important in our classroom, is encouraging each student to know that they can grow and they can learn. And with that, you may be wondering, what exactly will my students be learning this year? So when we get into third grade, we're getting into a little bit more of complex things, and it's actually really exciting because at this point, your kids have mastered the basics of reading, writing, math, and now they're ready to kind of go up to the next level. So in our classes, such as our English classes, your kids will be working more on interpretation skills, on instead of just reading the words, actually seeing, okay, what does this mean? Asking questions about it, being creative with their own writing, getting to explore what they like to do, what they want to be creative with in their writing. With things as math, of course, we'll be working on the basics of multiplication. We'll have a little bit of intro into division, things like that to get them ready as well for fourth grade. So we'll be working on a lot of math facts. We'll be playing a lot of math games to make that a little bit more fun and interesting as well. In their science classes, they'll be very hands-on. It will be a lot of questioning, experimenting, also just digging into the things that they're very interested about and getting them up to that higher level of questioning, of trying to ask, okay, why did this happen? How did this happen? How can I make it happen again? Things like that, so that they can also be developing that part of their brains. So they will be working a lot deeper maybe than they were in these last couple of years, and we'll also have some time for if they feel a little bit shaky with their reading or writing skills or their math skills, we'll have some time to go back to work on that, maybe some exercises to send home so that they can feel really confident in what they're doing in the classroom. But for the most part, third grade will be going a bit deeper into all of those subjects that they've been learning before. To ensure that all of this learning can happen in a good environment, we also do have a set of class rules, which is in the handout that I gave you guys. The first one is be prepared. So that means bring your homework to class, come to class ready to learn. Be respectful of your classmates, of your teachers, of everyone else who's around you. To be safe, so keeping your hands to yourself, not running in the class, following directions, things like that, and doing your best. So just showing up, ready to work and grow and do your best in every single class. If those rules are being followed, we will have a little sticker chart. We have all the kids' names on there. And when they are following those rules after a class, they will either receive a sticker or they will not. And at the end of every month, we'll open up a little store, and each of those stickers will be worth a certain amount so that your child can buy fun little prizes that may be school supplies or just fun little toys, trinkets. If you guys have any suggestions for things that your kids would love to see in there, if you could just also fill that out and write it on the back of your form. We really want some things that your kids will be motivated by as well. So that will be our main kind of reward system. However, if a child is really having difficulty in the class and they have been reminded several times and they are not willing to change their actions, we will have a little think slip, and the child will need to think about their actions and write out what they plan to do better next time and a plan of action to change that. So if they need to apologize to anyone, if they need to fix something, clean something up, they'll write that down, and then a picture of that will be texted to the parents so that you guys can immediately get that, and you just know that you can talk to your kids about it later in the day. And if they receive 3 of those in a month, that will result in a trip to the principal's office. So like I said before, I'm just super excited to get to know you guys throughout this year, to get to know your kids. And again, if you have any questions or you have any suggestions or things that you'd like to see, feel free to contact me. The info is right on the handout that I gave all of you. Do not hesitate to contact me. And I look forward to getting to know you guys all better this year.